Oh, the roughest life. Larnick, what's up? Welcome, welcome. Oh, jeez. It's getting, whoa. What did I just do? Jeez. It's getting hot and spicy, man. 62 kingdoms have registered already in the first 24 hours. Admiral, what's up? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, today should actually be pretty fun for us because we are going to be actually figuring out who registered for what. Yesterday, when we streamed, we were effectively grabbing and pulling together everyone, or we were putting together all the numbers, right? And trying to figure out the migration points per kingdom, the alliances that were there, and also their kingdom status, and then whether or not they had a king or if it was no king. And so today is actually going to be, thankfully, because we were going to do it towards the end. We did a couple of them, but not like we're going to do today. Today is basically going to be the day where we run through all the kingdoms and we try to put together kind of like a day one recap, and really more of like going, because effectively we're into day two at this point, even if it is only about 40 minutes into day two. But we are going to go through all the kingdoms, all, at least the, yeah, I guess all, but we're going to do it in order of the full status, crowded, active, and then we'll do the normal status kingdoms. So yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing today. So I think there's 80 plus kingdoms right now that have registered. There's the 62 here that are in Winter is Upon Us. And then I believe there's about 20 or so over here in, yeah, 21. So there's effectively 83. It could be more. I do think there is a slight delay because I know Yami told us yesterday that she had tested it by signing up for one and then kind of going into the next. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to figure out every single kingdom within the 255 kingdom pool that has registered so far. And then we'll do one kind of, I guess, go through. And then hopefully that'll give us some interesting indications on kind of who has signed up for what. I am somewhat, I don't know if I want to say I'm shocked, but one of the things I'm extremely curious on is the fact that there is a, and I don't know if I want to say just the fact that there's a split in general, right? Because you could argue there's about a third of the, there's a third number of registrants that signed up for Calling Encourage versus Winter is Upon Us, at least compared to those numbers, right, for people that have already signed up. I mean, there's still less than 100 kingdoms that have signed up overall. Right, so it's a little bit more than 80. And I got to see what the king's numbers are. I think I wrote it down yesterday, right? Yeah. Total kingdoms. Okay, yeah. Because I know we pulled it for how many kings and queens there are within the 255 kingdom pool. So we're going to have to look, which we'll start doing that here in a moment. And pulling all that stuff together for us. Hmm. Oh, wild stuff, man. It actually did start raining, too. That's pretty nuts. Yeah, because I think I do have the numbers there for the amount. Yeah, for the amount that did. There we go, we'll do that. Yeah, so I think we have two, let's see here, three. I'm gonna figure this out. Ooh, 24. So minus 255. So what's that? 231. Wow. That's actually pretty good. Wow, that's actually a lot more kings and queens this time around than the last time. Beans, what's up, man? Hey, hey. Hayes, what up? Did you check Satoru's on 174 now? He migrated again? Jeez, that must have costed a decent amount of permits for him to what effectively do back-to-back migrations. I mean, that's pretty. I mean, I guess it's still the whatever the max would be, right? In his case, is if it's 385, but still the fact that he did it twice now, back to back, on Neff's account. That's I mean, okay. Okay. Well, that's wild. I mean, listen, man, if you got the funds, why not? Yeah. I mean, it's still pretty nutty. The fact that, but again, I mean, Okay, people gonna do what they do. All right, we are almost done. Just finishing up some promos, and then we will. We'll start going through all the kingdoms, and like I said, we'll be starting with the. We're going to be starting with the full status kingdoms. Then we'll go to crowded, we'll go active, and then normal. So that's the order we'll go in. Remember, we did all of our data pulling pretty much yesterday. So I don't think there's going to be like massive or drastic changes for a number of kingdoms. Right. I'm sure we'll still see some migration movement because there's still time with the migration window being open until registration concludes. But we're going to focus on going through kingdoms and looking at who has registered for what. Because again, as we're showing, there is 63 kingdoms here in Winters Upon Us, 21 there in Calling and Courage, right? So you're looking at, effectively 84 kingdoms there that have registered. So our job, effectively, today is going to be trying to collect all of the kingdoms, at least do one pass through, right? That's our goal. So let's at least do one pass through so we can at minimum figure out the 84 kingdoms that have registered, and then which scenario did they register for. And then what we can also do from that is look at the strength of the kingdoms as well. Because if you recall, we talked about this yesterday, is one of the cool things about the new kind of migration point system is that can now be used as a kind of soft, strongest kingdom indicator, right? Not to say that it's going to be as accurate as, when we do like a top 300 or a top 600 player pool, but it will be very close, right? That, if a kingdom is at, 3,950 points out of 4,000, I mean, again, that's a strong kingdom. So the cool thing is that's something that we can use right now to our advantage, right? At least while I wait to get a more recent pool from Fuzzy, obviously when time permits. So given that, we still have some nice numbers and data that we can use when it comes to kind of showcasing the strength of kingdoms that have signed up for a particular certain scenario. Yeah. Abdus's Winter Gang. Hay says, yeah, he is on a 6-bill alliance. Seems bullying D class. Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, if that's the case, I don't know how fun or enjoyable that would be for, maybe anyone necessarily involved. Especially if you get matched up against a bunch of other like D's and C's. Just, I don't know, it just doesn't really seem like that, basically maxed, truly maxed account is going to get its worth. But I guess you could argue it is a little inflated at this point, right? Because it's not as though he's I'm trying to figure out what the word is. I'm trying to find here. Yeah. Oh, 408. Oh, I did. Nice. D-Ball, what's up, man? LFC for Winter Gang. Yeah, man. Maybe a little migration movement. Chris, what's up? Welcome. Yeah, we're almost done. As you guys know, we're just jamming out our promos real quick. And I'm just paying visits to a bunch of kingdoms right now on my scout. Hey says, hope matchmaking is good and fair this season. The last Winners Upon Us I experienced is a little unfair. Yeah. Again, hopefully we end up getting a lot or the majority of kingdoms that end up signing up for Winners Upon Us, or at least, like I said, whichever one they decide, just as long as the majority opts to go the same way. To me, that's the most important thing. Regardless of which one you want to play, which one you feel is more worthwhile, as long as the majority or up to everyone goes to the same KvK scenario, that's the most important thing, because you need a big pool. You need the pool to be as big as humanly possible. Excuse me. So you can get the most balanced, the most fair matchups possible. Also, spending caps will be closer on average based on one of the metrics one of the factors that the dev team stated that they look at when trying to do pairings. Amount of troops. It's just, again, it's kind of more, and I that's my hope, really, when you think about it, is for us to get something like what we got with Rise of the Dragon, where this pool in particular had a lot of fair matchups, like a lot of well-balanced matchups. Probably one of the best KvK group balancing that I've seen, since I started pulling data for KvK groups. I mean, they did a great job. And a big part of that was really based on the community's efforts and the kings and queens efforts of trying to get as many people into the Gen 2 pool. I mean, if you look at it now, right, you still even have, I mean, like you look at a strong kingdom like BTX, right? BTX skipped just so they could get to the G2 pool, and good on them, good on others who are working their way to try and get to this particular pool and trying to time out the KvK start times. It's only going to be more of a win for everyone. And now this pool is bigger. Now the G2 pool still is the largest KvK kingdom pool, and it increased in size from last season to this season. I think there's around 30 more kingdoms now, 30 plus, that have been added into this pool, obviously with BTX being one of those, right? One of the 4 full status kingdoms that is in this pool. And I think that's just what you want to see, man. You want to see effectively one main pool. I'm not a fan of this whole, let's choose multiple, and you guys have heard me talk about this before, but I'm not a fan of oh yeah, let's choose, let's give us multiple KvK scenarios to choose from. No, right? You should have one KvK scenario, and if you want to, you rotate it, right? So it's just on a universal, interval, meaning that regardless of if you're in SOS, let's say you're just coming out of season 3, whatever everyone else is on, that's what you're going to be on. And I say that because it ensures the most important part, which is that if everyone is effectively forced into the same KvK pool, right, you'll always have the highest percentage chance of having the most fair and balanced matchups for every KvK group, right? Regardless of how you necessarily feel about a season, right? That's something I'd like for them to do. I mean, you could even do it another way where maybe every other season you let all the kingdoms vote, and then vote on which scenario. You give them options, right? And they can vote, and whichever scenario gets the highest votes, that's the one everyone goes into. I mean, you can try different things, but for me, the big one is let's just make it so that way we can just easily put all the kingdoms into one pool. And then that way you just know that you're guaranteed to have, right, the highest chance of having, right, the most fair and balanced pairings. I mean, it does seem as though quite a few people are interested, a little bit more in Winners Upon Us versus Calling of Courage, given it has 3 times the amount of signups. than Calling of Courage does. Oh, got all these comebacks. Okay. Bakuna, what's up? Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, we'll be starting in a moment where we're going to start going through all the kingdoms, and then we're going to plug them in on the sheet, and I'll show you guys the sheet too. But we'll start going through those in a moment. As I stated before, we're going to go in order right now. So we'll go through all the kingdoms. We're going to plug in and figure out who's registered out of the 84 or so kingdoms at the moment. And then from there, we'll figure out who's registered for Winters Upon Us, who registered for Calling of Courage. We'll see kind of what their ranking is on the leaderboard for this particular group based on migration points. And then again from there, ooh, why not? Oh, wow. What a shocker. Yeah. And then again, from there, we're going to do one full sweep, right? So we're going to do one sweep through all the kingdoms. And then we'll see kind of where everything looks like at that point for us. Yeah. So it should be good. Should be good. Like I said, we're just trying to finish up some promos. Yeah, Doom, what's up, baby? Tameeth, what's up? Who do you think? What do you think? Who number one in COD? I'm gonna be honest. That sounded like a mouthful for me for a moment. Are you just generally asking, like, who do I think is the number one? Are you asking number one player, number one alliance, number one kingdom, number one fighters? A little more detail for me, just in the specificity of the question would be appreciated, just so I can answer or at least give a response. I'll say. Doom says we haven't registered yet, but I may register during your live stream. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. I'm sure after, like I said, we're going to go through, so we're going to try and get an idea on, who's who's going where initially. So hopefully that might help to a certain capacity. Yeah. I'm just trying to hope this thing is going to stop, because usually it only lets me promo in like 10 kingdoms in game, but for whatever reason it's letting me do a lot more, which is nice. I don't even know where I was. 585. But goodness says you're asking the GOAT who's number one. Yes, that's right. Number one in your hearts. Yeah, we'll see. There's still 63. It is, right? And this should still be... Oh, wow. So look, another kingdom just registered. So now we're at 85 kingdoms registered total. A new one just registered for Calling of Courage, like they did before for Winter. There you go. So it's at 581. There we go. Team misses Echo number one. I mean, to be fair, Echo could be argued to be, I don't think that's out of the realm of consideration when you look at the performance Echo put up last season or this past season. I mean, if some people wanted to say that, it obviously depends on what category, but if you're just saying like, number one fighting kingdom, I think you can easily put them in that conversation. Whether they are overall number one or not, I think based on their performance last season, maybe even arguably the season before that as well, I think they respectfully have to at least be in the conversation for that. At least until otherwise, is shown. Yeah. You know what I need to start doing? I need to start putting together like KvK records for like the Kingdom and Alliance that achieved like the most merits in a season. Maybe like the player that achieved the most merits in a season. I don't know, like something like that. I don't know. I was just thinking about that. Like if I put together like a world records thing for PvP. I don't know what you guys think about that. You have to let me know. It was just coming to head because I was thinking about the behemoth world time records that I used to do. I mean, I still do it, but it's just, nobody's updated me in a while about those. But I was just thinking, man, what if I put together like some PvP KvK like world records to go off of? And like I guess those were two that just initially came to mind for me. A wrecking ball says I changed my name for y'all. Okay. Bobby, what's up? Do you have an opinion on WoW's split and their decision to move to G3? Interesting. I actually didn't know that WoW did split. So that is news to me. I mean, to be honest, I think respectfully, I think anyone that moves away from G2, I just think it's the wrong decision. It doesn't matter how strong or how weak your kingdom is. The fact is that G2 has the largest kingdom pool, and that's where everyone should want to be, because it guarantees you the high, like we consistently keep saying, it guarantees you the highest percentage chance of having the most balanced and most fair matchups every season. And the fact is that when you join a larger kingdom pool, you also have the highest percentage chance of getting fresh opponents and or people that you haven't seen in a while, right? More often, rather than getting people that you might have seen a lot more often. So again, there is value in that. However, the other thing to consider that I think is really important is that, okay, yeah, no, well, there we go. Yeah, so yeah, Rhea just said what I was going to say. So there you go. Yeah, which is that the one thing you can't take away from is that if you are doing a rebuild, it could force you into a kingdom that is not in that may be out of the G2 pool, right? If you're trying to migrate somewhere. Now, if you're migrating to a kingdom that is in the G2 pool, and let's say you're doing a rebuild, to be fair, it doesn't really matter if it still doesn't make any sense for you to leave the G2 pool, because you'll still get matched up based on what your power is, and then obviously what the other factors are as well. So if you're doing a rebuild, you're going to be a lot lower. You probably would be more of a D seed at that point. So you're probably going to get matched with Ds and Cs rather than, kind of invisible As and Bs, right? So even in that regard, it's not like it's a loss to anything. And if you're doing the rebuild, the fact is that you being in that particular season makes it a lot easier for people to also, because if more kingdoms keep coming to the same G2 pool, it makes it easier for having a little bit more fluid migration flow, because everyone's migration is pretty much opening up at the same times and closing at around the same time. So you're not really having to kind of worry about, am I going to go here? Am I going to go there? Or sorry, that I need to time this out because this timeline's ahead of mine or behind mine. Right, especially if you're on one of the other generation pools for SOS kingdoms. It's just I just think there's a lot more benefits overall to just staying in the G2 pool, even if, regardless if you're looking to do a rebuild or not. Right, or I'm sorry, if you're doing a rebuild specifically within a kingdom that is in the G2 pool, right? If you're trying to go to a kingdom that's outside of the G2 pool, okay, that's different. But the only way you would really be able to do that would be when that kingdom is already kind of in its KvK phase, right? So you'd be stuck kind of zone 1 at that point, especially if you did it before. If you did it before the off-season migration window opened. So, I guess you could, but I mean, we looked at this. We looked at this yesterday, and what we looked at yesterday showed us that there's plenty of kingdoms in the G2 pool that are just prime real estate. Like they are dead kingdoms. There's a healthy amount that don't have a king or queen. So it's easy to go and find a kingdom that you would want to go through and rebuild that does not have a king and has a very low migration number. We found kingdoms that had under 100, under 200 points, migration points in them. I mean, those are prime real estate rebuild opportunity kingdoms that are within the G2 pool. So again, you can't really say like, oh well, and that's just for anyone in general, right? You can't say like there's no options. But like I said, I don't know all the circumstances behind WAO, right? And why they would have maybe moved off or not. I'm just speaking from what I know, which is, and obviously giving my opinion here, which is that I just don't think I don't think anyone needs to leave. G3, like I said, or G2. I can understand if maybe there wasn't any, rebuild kingdoms available, maybe to that effect, right? But I think what you have to look at is like the BTX situation, which I think is really important. The BTX situation, I think, really highlighted and showed us kind of almost what you don't want to do, right? And I think the way that BTX is responding is appropriate, which is, look, we probably shouldn't have gone where we went, right? In their minds, to basically a weaker gen pool at that point, like they did. And I think it's important to understand that, because the fact is that, they're coming back, right? So, I think that's really important to understand, is that, they opted to effectively, leave to go to what they thought was, okay, well, this is going to be an easier pool. And then, whatever other reasons there was, there may have been as well. They do that, and then now they're back in the G2 pool. So it's, I don't know. It's how much are we saying at that point? I guess that would be my thought. That'd be my thought on it. Okay, so here is our sheet. So we'll show this off real quick for you guys before we go back. So at the moment, there is there's 255. So there's 255 kingdoms currently that are in this. That are in this KvK pool. And we have, out of that, 231 of them are kings or queens. Last season for G2, we had 223 kingdoms, and 193 of those were a king or queen. So you've added 32 more kingdoms. In addition to that, we have 38 more kings or queens. So, like that in and of itself, I think is important. Where you look at the fact is we have a lot more kings and queens that can register this season around compared to last. Okay, so here's our sheet, right, for what we were going off of. Right, we're going to start at the top here, and then we'll kind of work our way going forward for what we have. Fabi, thanks for the sub. Appreciate it. Means a lot. Yeah. I sent to you. Reyes says Cap just wanted to rebuild though earlier than wait for the server to be dead. People says it's full. Doom says, yeah, I think WoW's rebuilding, so they don't want to enter G2 already until they have their shells infrastructure rebuilt along with their new player base. Ray says, yeah, WoW will skip and wait for the next G2. Yeah, and again, I'm sure people will, eventually try to work their way back. Yeah. Tube says, yeah, what WoW's doing is a good way to get to where they want. I mean, there's other kingdoms. I mean, you look at I think like, you look at like TFS as an example, right? When they did their rebuild, right? And eventually they kind of worked their way back too. Yeah. Yeah, Larnix said, we weren't in G3 by choice. We were there because that's where we found the best empty server. Yeah, and yeah, there you go, right? And effortlessly, right? That's one of the points we mentioned, which is sometimes, you might find yourself in a situation where it's just unavoidable. Okay, let's go ahead and start plugging along. Where is my thing here? Okay. Sweetness. So let's go. Am I good? All right, cool. So we're going to go down the list, starting with the full kingdoms. So it's going to be, I think 99 is going to be up first. Yeah. So that's BTX's kingdom. So we are going to start. So I'm just going to go down the list right now. So this is what we're going to do, right? So we're going to start with the full kingdoms. We'll do crowded, then we'll do active, and we're going to plug everything in. Ooh, look at that, dude. BTX registered for Winter is Upon Us, right? They didn't register last night, but we were only a couple hours in. So that's the first of the 4 kingdoms. Sorry, first of the 4 fulls. First of the 4 full status kingdoms that is registered. RPC, what's up? Yo, BN, if I was to skip the upcoming pool, how would I derive the servers in the next pool? So the way you would figure that out is you'd have to go through all the kingdoms. You'd have to go through the existing KvK pools that are in SOS and look at the end time for them, which is basically you have to make a character in each of, like, so just so you know, I've already done this, right? So I pretty much know all the kingdoms that are going to be going into the next KvK cycle for SOS, and then also any of the kingdoms that are coming out of season 3, meaning the ones that are in pre-war, / the ones where their season will be ending. That's kind of how you have to calculate it. Okay, this is, I think, 110. Oh, sorry, yeah, this is, I'm tripping. I'm like going through this automatically, and Doom already said they haven't registered yet. Okay, we're gonna go to 266. That's RAC is gonna be the next one here. Okay, yeah, Doom said we're likely gonna go winner. Okay. Rhea, who the F is registering CoC? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just, I mean, like I said, man, and you guys have heard me say this before. I don't care where they register, just as long as the majority registers for the same, right? If not up to everyone, registers for the same scenario. Wrecking Ball says use words talk. Sunrise, what's up? Feel like a lot will wait for the last minutes. Yeah, I mean, so there's what right now? So out of 200, so here we'll do some numbers, right? I think there's 85 that have registered so far. So out of 231 kings and queens, that's 37%. So about 37% of the kingdoms thus far have registered, right? So again, you're a little over a third at that point. Okay, this is 283. Okay, so they haven't registered. So that leaves us with 1 full status kingdom that has registered out of the 4 full status kingdoms thus far. Okay. Yeah. Twin Savage, what's up? Rhea says old. Wow, registered winner. Nice. Dream said, what happened to the Shadow Frame season? Okay, no registration for GG. We'll check 57 for NF57 next. Yeah. And this is going to go, pretty quick at this point, because literally all I have to do is just keep going through these back to back. So we should be able to kind of start really getting some good pacing here. So 57 we did. Okay, now we're going to check Echo and 60. We'll see where they registered for. 57 hasn't registered yet. Yeah. And if it helps as well, we're going through all the kingdoms based on potential strength. Based on estimated strength, right? Not top 3 or top 600, but kind of going off migration points. So let's see. Wow, dude. So Echo hasn't registered either. Interessanto. Interessanto. I probably should check 30 and 249 though, just to make sure they haven't switched. That probably would be important. Rhea says people go to G2 just to register for CLC. Okay, so it's 41. Let's just double. I just want to double check while I'm going through because I just don't want to have to come all the way back and feel like I missed anything. So let's just check 30 and 249 again while we're here. All right. They should still be, yep. Okay, good. And then 249, we'll check you. And then we'll move on. So that's still accurate. So that means that NA hasn't switched. They've stayed with Winter is Upon Us. And awesome. So no switch from WBA. Sick life. Oh, let's do 225. Okay, now we're back on track. So at the moment, we have estimated 3 kingdoms within the top 10 that have registered for Winter is Upon Us, 2 crowded, and 1 full status so far. Ooh, there we go. 225 is 25 IW. Found another one. Another one. All right, let's go to 17. Yeah, plus the good thing about doing it after, like doing a full lookup after 24 hours has passed, means it's just less, it's less amount of times I'm going to have to do a full scan. Because it's a lot sometimes at the beginning, I'll tell you that much. Okay, so ED in 17 has not registered yet. We're going to check 363, which is SSG. We'll see if they registered. Seven says, question, how do I use the recovery voucher? I was given one by my current king to leave the server. Now I check the server I want to go to. Still don't have enough permits. 20 was required. I got 20. Yeah. So I believe the recovery, sorry, you mean the discharge? Whatever the discharge, like once they discharge you from the kingdom? Yeah, because I know when you get discharged, you still have to pay for the majority of your permits. There we go. There we go. Doom came in. Yeah, so 20%. Oh, they'll go 276. Vanya, what's up? Why you call EIS EIL? Well, that's because when Dark went into 176, they initially renamed to EIL from what I saw. And I know that in whatever kingdom they were in previously that I'm now forgetting the number of, I think they're still EIS there. And every time I check, it's still EIL. So I'm not sure. Oh, you said still EIS, EIL just a shell. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I mean, keep in mind, you know, I'm just plugging in whatever the alliance tag is for the king position. So it just it makes it easier for me, so I don't have to like sit here and, you know, guess or put something else in that, you know, I'm just basically copying it down from what it is. So if they switch that and it becomes EIS, then I'll just update that. But to be honest, I'm not really like giving it any hard thought. I'm just trying to kind of jot down everything as fast as I can, just because it already takes, you know, a lot of time. Oops, hang on, did I check this? I did. Okay, I'm tripping. 345. We'll go to. But yeah, like I said, if they update it to EIS, then I'll go ahead and update it on my sheet next time when I go through. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. And to be clear, it's not like I'm sliding EIS and be like, oh yeah, I'm just not going to call you that anymore. No, it's just whenever I go through and I look, right, like when I did yesterday, right, the shell for the king title, when I clicked on the kingdom, from the server list, it just said EIL. So I mean that's really all it is. Ooh, look at that. So IWG 345 has registered for Winners Upon Us. Sweet. Let's go 286 now. Doom says being calls us ROS, ROA, ROV, ROG, depending on the show we're in at that time. It's just whatever show we are in when he's covering us. Lol. Yeah. Like I said, it's not on purpose. It's just, you know, it's just easier for me to not like overthink it because there's just so much I have to pull already. So, you know, obviously most of the time people are usually in their main shells already. It's only sometimes when, for example, you know, like if you're like a good example is that if you're registering for KvK and I'm going through the kingdom and everyone is in one shell, but like let's say that's not the main shell, I may use that shell's acronym just for the duration of the KvK, right? Just because anything I do more than that takes more time to do, right? Even if it might seem simple to someone where it's like, okay, well, you know, all boss has to do is just go ask, okay, well, what happens if we multiply that by however many kingdoms might be doing that? All of a sudden, it starts taking a lot more time away. So like I said, that's why it's never, you know, it's never something that's done on purpose. It's just, I just grab what I see. Just because, like I said, it makes it easier for me. It's less overall time I have to spend. And it's not like it's inaccurate. It's just more of a kingdom preference, right? I'm like, oh yeah, this is our main shell, but it's not like me saying an acronym for a secondary shell is wrong. It's just, you know, everyone would probably just prefer, hey, just say our main shell name. Okay, so 62. So FG, the FG fam at 62 has registered. What's going on? Some good agua. Good agua. So what was that, 193? Okay, let's go 297. Yeah. Sunrise, yeah, he calls wherever the majority of players are in. Yeah. We're going 156. Tim says, yeah, we are TRK, the Ronin Guard, but everyone calls us ROG. Yeah. Yeah, like if you asked me, you know, who's 110, I would probably say ROG. At this point, to be specific. Oh, I forgot, man. I might have to do some of these in some of these kingdoms. Yeah, because some of these I haven't been into for a minute. Yeah. Twin says, I understand it's a discount. Oops. Okay, so no registered there. So we're going to go to 49, which is, isn't that NTS? It is. Well, let's see if NTS is registered. So Twin says, I understand it's a discount for the permits, so why is the permits requirement still the same before I accepted the recovery voucher to go into the server? I want 20 days still required for me to go. Yeah, you know, I'll be honest. Part of me felt like I thought I read something where they either didn't apply any additional discount or left it intact. I can't remember, unless maybe they've changed something since it was originally introduced. Wow, so even NTS in 49 has not registered yet. Wrecking Ball says, we get called the best. Maybe y'all should do better. No. Sunrise, weird how in Rock kingdoms are known by number, not by the name anymore. Yeah. I mean, I think that, I don't know if that's entirely true. I mean, I still, you know, see people refer to, you know, 1960 as like 60 GT, right? People used to refer to, oh God, whatever what the Misfits kingdom was, that I can't remember now, or Billy Bob used to play in when he was running. Was it 1094? I think. Oh God, now I'm blanking. But yeah, I mean, I think some people go off numbers, and you know, maybe it might be easier for some people to go off numbers or more of a majority rather than names. But you know, I still hear people go off names. For me, sometimes actually, I'll just use both. I'll just say the kingdom number and then the name, or the name and then the kingdom number. Oh wow, was that 116? It was, wow. Okay, so we're gonna go 305 and then 219. Yeah. We're trying. We're doing good. We're doing good. Got good pacing. Good pacing right now. So with this is 219, estimated to be 26th ranked. And this is where MM plays. Yeah. Savage says, thank you, BN. You the best. Always has best source of information. Well, thank you. Thank you kindly. Right. At least for what I know. I'll say that. House, what's up? Welcome. We good? Ooh, look at that, man. Another. So MM is registered. Found another one. They can't hide. They can't hide from us forever. All right, we're going to do 259 now. And then we got 183. So this is going to be Ash. House says, I'm betting BN cities have been the most rated in the game. You know, funny enough. Ooh, look at that, dude. Back-to-back registrations. Very nice. So 259 Ash has registered. Sweet. We're going to go to A2G 183 next. Yeah, a funny note on that is, you know, when I was initially creating... Okay. I feel better. Oh my gosh, 3 in a row, tic-tac-toe. Look at that. So 183 A2G has registered winners upon us as well. Ooh, nice. Next is TFS. Let's see what they've done. That's Kingdom 40. But funny note on that. Alejandro, what's up? Welcome. A funny note on that, though, House, which is that, you know, when I was first creating all my scouts and people, you know, kind of started to get wind of me. Oh, wow. So TFS hasn't registered yet. And people kind of started getting wind of that. It was me, and I was the one making all of these. I did. Actually, people used to spam scout me. So they would spam scout my city on some of my accounts. And then some people did raid them. But to be honest, eventually, once some of my scouts just kind of got caught in the upgraded flags trajectory or within their vicinity, like literally I would just log back into those accounts and they're just constantly getting blasted by the towers. So it doesn't happen actually too much anymore where people are like spam scouting, because again, there's no point really in attacking them, right? Because there's nothing. It's like, you know, 720. I guess some of them might be like 30, 40, 50K powers, but you know, it's not anything that, you know, is gonna, it's not like, you know, anyone's gonna get anything for it. And I don't do anything on them anyways. But in the beginning, yes, people were actually attacking them and spam scouting them. But that was like shortly after beta. Doesn't usually happen anymore. Yeah. Plus the funny thing is that even if they did, or even like even if they thought, oh yeah, you know, we're really going to get BN, like I might not go back and check that account for a month. So it's like anything they do, it's just, you know, my response or me seeing it, right? It's like a month delayed. So ooh, look at this. So we had 290, which was QOD. They registered, and then back-to-back 339, which is where UHA plays. So they've registered as well. Okay, we're gonna, ooh. Next we got MFD and 77. We'll see if they have. Oh, there you go. Yeah, so Doom brought up a good point. So he's saying that you do get the discount, but if you've already started the KvK or if you've entered the matchmaking phase, it won't take effect until next KvK. All right, there you go. Essentially, read the fine print, as they say. All right, so dude, MFD did register. So 77 is registered for Winter is Upon Us. We're going to look at 119 now, which is, I think, Law. But this is L squiggly AW. Alejandro, thank you for the sub. Appreciate the love, man. It means a lot. I'm going to give you some confetti in the chat. Why? Because it's free. And it looks pretty. So, yeah. Yeah, I think, yeah, we're on 119 now. So we're 34. This is our 34th Kingdom in. Appreciate the additional confetti, fam. Yeah, I want to read some. Oh, nice. I need to catch up on some Discord messages. Ooh, look at that, dude. 119 registered as well. Winter is Upon Us. Very nice. Next, 221. Gonna be a lot, man. All the ones. So this is funny. So here's something for you. So far, so here's a stat line for you. So far, all of the full status and crowded kingdoms and the top active kingdoms thus far have registered for Winter is Upon Us. There you go. There's a stat line for you, right? So out of about the top 35 kingdoms-ish, right? For kingdoms within that set that have registered, have only been for Winter is Upon Us. There you go. There's a stat line for you. Let me see what I got. Okay. Ooh, look at that, dude. 221. Oh, sorry. No, that wasn't. That was 164, right? Ooh, so BXS's Rebuild Kingdom has registered. Okay. Let's go 247. Sunrise says, imagine BTX, EIS, Echo, ROG, RAC matches together. That'd be fun. Yeah. Tomb's like, but who'd be the sixth? Yeah. 247. Ooh, we're going to go to 45 now, which is BB. I was about to say BDO, but all their Krakens left, so I'm not sure now. Yeah. I mean, you could probably put NTS in there. I don't know. I don't know. SSG probably could be, yeah, probably could be a good throw as well. I thought some people told me that NTS might have had some people that were leaving, but I don't know if it was like a lot. I think I'd only heard it might have been a handful. Yeah. There we go, dude. Our first CoC registration. Right? If you guys want to go for shame them. I'm just joking. But Kingdom 45, Squiggly BB, they are estimated to be the 38th-ish or so ranked kingdom in the pool. They're the first one that we've seen that is registered for CoC. Let's go 341. Whew. Yeah. Lumpia, what's up? Welcome, welcome. I'm gonna be honest. Some lumpia sounds pretty good right now. To be honest, to be real. Man, I haven't had lumpia for so long. Jeez. Yeah, actually, one of oh god, I don't know who it is. It's my cousin. My cousin's wife had actually picked up some lumpia that this local restaurant makes, and I thought she was the one who did it from hand because she had initially told me that. And then later I find out that no, it was kind of catered and they bought and pick it up. But man, this lumpia was pretty banging. Yeah. Now you're making me kind of mouth water on this, on the lumpia. It's pretty darn good. Ooh, Box, what's up, man? Oh, sorry, Box said most of NTS went to EIL. Oh, interesting. I did hear some. I didn't know how many, though. I don't know if it was a lot that left them compared to where they were at. Oh, Doom, sorry. It was 45 with squiggly BB for the I'll show it too as well. If we get through everything, if we get through all the kingdoms tonight before I finish up, I'll go back and show. I'll show the sheet. That's what I mean. Otherwise, if I don't, it just depends. I mean, again, we got, about 200 more kingdoms to go. So it just depends on our pace for the evening. But if I don't get through everything tonight, I'll be sure to do it tomorrow, right? Where I'll probably just do a separate video and just kind of do like a wrap up or a roundup for, who's registered so far. Yeah. No, Sunrise, again, NA is another good one that could probably be in there too. Boxes, a lot of us are waiting for that kind of matchup and have been trying to snipe it for the longest, yeah. Excuse me. I mean, hopefully we end up getting something to that effect, right? Because, I mean, if there's any indicator for last season with how they did Rise of the Dragon, the majority of the KvK groups were 6 kingdoms, right? There was only 4 KvK groups, which were the weakest 4, right? I.e. the weakest / lowest powered 4, where they put more than 6 kingdoms in the group. The majority of the Rise of the Dragons KvK groups for SOS last season, at least in the Gen 2 pool, was pretty much most of them 6 kingdoms, right? So you'd have 1 in each of the zones at that point. I think there's a very good chance they will keep that similar approach for I believe they're going to keep that similar approach, right, going into Winners Upon Us or even Calling of Courage, especially obviously if there's just a lot of kingdoms in one scenario over the other. It doesn't seem like they would really deviate from that, given the success that they had last season. At least I should say hopefully they don't. If they did, it'd probably be a letdown, to be honest. Oh, there we go. Look at that, dude. VP22. Winter is upon us. Lovely, lovely. Whoa, 314. Oh, that's YY. I wonder if Squiggly Eyes has registered. Yeah, who knows? Dude, what? YY's group registers Calling of Courage? Oh my gosh. The blasphemy. The blasphemy. That's interesting. That's especially because they opted to register Rise of the Dragon last season with everyone else. I don't know. That's iffy to me. Wrecking says let's all send hate mail. Lumpia, the big guy from SSG, has a new alliance. The Mephisto account is there as well. Oh my gosh, next one. Here we go. Dude, what? RK Ragnarok from Kingdom 3 registers CoC. Wow, that's I don't know. I don't know if I would have saw that coming. Wild stuff, man. What in the dang nabbit? Wild stuff. Yeah, because RK has always been like a pretty consistent threat of a kingdom, and I know they've usually registered for recent seasons along with ROTD last cycle. Oh, sorry, hang on. That was, we checked this, right? Yeah. That was 163. Next 222. Yeah. Sunrise says Mephisto account left SSG with some others. Okay. Papa Lumpia. Box says NA is also trash. Damn, bro. Said Sato left with TSGM group in 174. Okay. Reyes is Sato destroying every alliance he goes to. You know the interesting, funnyish part about that comment is the, which maybe it sucks to say, but people keep adding on more doors in that hallway COD meme about Satoru. It's like the me. It's like the hallway just gets longer and longer and longer, and people just create more doorways, and then him as the Grim Reaper going through each. And I remember when they first started that, and all they've done is just keep basically level upping the meme. Just like, oh god. Socrates, what's up, man? Saying Tuz is trash. And you guys got some choice words for some peeps. For some peeps today. All right, dude, look at that. HOUW from 222 registers. Winter is upon us. Very nice. Very nice. All right, let's check 250. That's BPT. There we go. Well, that was 250, right? Yeah. All right, let's go 5. Wrecking bosses YY sellouts. Doom, I want CoC seasonal mastery skills on the Winners Upon Us map. There you go. You're like, man, why couldn't they just hybrid combined? So No War hasn't registered yet. 243. Oh, we're checking 243 with IFAP. Sun says YY just wants to farm T3s. You guys, man. Oh, you're just killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. Reyes says YY is done fighting T5 after they faced HWG. I mean, they still ended up winning their last season, though, against HWG and Luno. I mean, even though, yeah, it was a 4v2, you know, I mean, let's keep it real. Ooh, look at that, dude. Even IFAP registers, dude. How do you let an alliance with the acronym IFAP register for Winners Upon Us and you don't? All right, let's go to 80, man. Let's go to 80. Box says they need to add the great stuff from each KvK into one. Yeah, that actually would be dope. Just do a little hybrid KvK. There we go. So UDF from 80 hasn't registered. Let's go 240 Arkham. Yeah, he says, I was talking with College from 75 today, and he pointed out that some realms are registering SOS 1, Calling of Courage, because you can't dodge Zone 2. I mean, to be fair, technically you can, you just don't go in. Right? So, I mean, yeah, but, and then what I will say as well, Yami, is the challenge, or based on what you're saying, College said, right, if that's true, the other thing that you still have to play, the other thing that you still have to heavily factor, which is what we've been talking about, is that you still have to a degree, go with the flow. Because nobody's going to want to play in a KvK scenario where you have, 30 kingdoms or less in there. And well, I should probably rephrase, not to say that they don't want to play it, but that the scenario that they registered for, if there's like 30 or less kingdoms, is just going to have the highest percentage chance of being unbalanced. Like, unless the only way that it could work is if you coordinated where it was like just specific kingdoms that were going to go in there, right? Like, okay, right, then you can kind of like force the matchup, right? But you can manipulate it. But I mean, the likelihood of that happening is just, it's extremely unlikely. So the problem is that if you end up getting into a scenario that just has such a wide range, and we'll see how it looks right after we go through all the kingdoms. But if you go into a scenario that has just such a wide, discrepant range of powers and kingdom statuses, etc., right, and spending caps or lack thereof, I mean, you could be in for just like like an awful season. Right, so it's like, even if there's some people that would rather play CoC, if the majority of the kingdoms are registering for Winners Upon Us, like, you kind of have to go Winners Upon Us. Right, and I would argue the same vice versa. If the majority were registering for CoC, then I would say you probably need to go CoC. Because to me, it doesn't really matter. Right, my whole thing is like, kingdoms, people just need to recognize, the kings and queens just need to recognize that, again, if you want to try and have the best possible KvK season, you need to go with whichever pool has the largest amount of kingdoms already registered for it. Like, it's just that simple. Excuse me. Let's see. Yami says, yeah, we register like 10 minutes after it opens. All right. Ooh, there we go, dude. 284 RNW registers. Winter is upon us. Look at that. So we got 284. What are we on now? 389. We're going to see where they registered. Oh, that's SPA. I remember watching them fight last season. Yeah. Oh, dude, there we go. SPA. Winter is upon us. That's 389. We got 47. Huh? Yeah, Doom says, I mean, we haven't registered because the others haven't, but they also haven't stated which ones they are going. We will likely go SOS2, but we want to make sure that's where everyone else is going first. Box says, yeah, but it's calf season, so people want to use AGs. Sure. $211. Rhea says those who register CoC are the ones looking to dodge zone 2. $7. Pervy, what's up? Winter is perfect for people that like to farm all season until final CoC is more inductive for PvP. Noe, what's up? Or is it no way? In CoC, you can invade zone 1, so it's the best. Listen, man, some people feel that way. Some people don't. So. Yeah. Someone, yeah. You know, it's just like I said, and it's like I was saying to Yami earlier, you know, based on what she was saying, college was saying, it just goes back to the same thing. It's like, you might feel a certain way about a particular season, but in the end, it really is just going to come down to where is the majority of kingdoms registering for, and that's just going to be where everyone should register for, like whichever, like even if you want to wait until the last minute or the last hour to pick, or even to consider switching, because remember, you can switch. If you register, you can unregister and then re-register for a different scenario. You know, it's not like you're locked in, right? At least until the registration period ends, right? Then, of course, you're locked in at that point. But you know, we saw that last season. There was a handful of kingdoms that switched scenarios. More often than not, they switched and went back to Rise of the Dragon to go for that one. And there was even, I think, one or two, from what I recall, that either unregistered or did register, right? So kind of vice versa there. Yeah. 255 right now. Oh, dude, here we go. Another CoC, 255 RP, registered for CoC. Let's go, what am I looking at, 113, right? I guess next one. Yeah. So let's see. Oh, damn, dude, a back-to-back CoC. Kingdom 113, that's NN for the alliance there. They register as well. We're going 375 next. Over there. Boxes, things you should add to the game. Skill lock, master skills, AGs, long range warfare, probably camps. I personally thought they were a great addition to the game. Yeah. I'm definitely okay with skill lock being added. I'm not, you know, against it or overwhelmingly for it, but you know, I'm okay with something like that getting added. You know. There's something on my screen that's so weird. Right? Oh, where was I? Man, I need some agua her. Man, somebody click on this. All right, there. Ooh, look at that, dude. 375. That's NXW. They registered for Winners Upon Us. Sweet. Let's go to 11. This is EX. This is Exiles Kingdom. Okay, no register for EX. Let's go 220. Yeah. No dodging zone 2, zone 1. Purpose says if you want to run that 1v1 you were talking about, then meet us in CoC. NASTi, you the man. I try. Where was it? 220? We're gonna go 102 now. It's SN. It was actually tied in our 4 decisions, so we let all players vote, and they ended up going SOS2. Oh, and then a CMAR? Okay. Oh, thanks for that, Doom. Tell them, Purvy's like, tell them we are challenging you publicly. Take a revote. Yeah, he's like, I could put that up for a discussion. Purvy's like, otherwise I will have to make a YouTube video that you guys dodging us. Damn, the salt. Reckons like I need to sleep before the season starts. Man, I feel like everyone needs to sleep and get some quality napperoonies in, man. And more like before each pass opening. It should be like a requirement, huh? Everyone's got to get at least 12 hours of sleep before the pass is open. He's like 12 hours of sleep. That's low. I need 16. Damn. All right, man. Get your double beauty sleep. We see you. I don't even know if I've ever slept that long. I think the longest I've probably ever slept maybe like 10 or 11 hours. I don't know if I've ever slept longer than that. That's a lot. Box says the no, just think for smaller guys, those hard-earned heads should go to where they want them to, or them due to everything else. The game, exemplars, pets, arties, so the little guy's a bone. Yeah. All right, dude, there we go, man. So Seal 228 registered winners upon us. HTF 349 registered winners upon us. Now we're going 302 for SHPZ. And then on this next one, I'm probably gonna get some water because I'm so parched. Wrecking says, we put our server decrees for sleep. That's good. That's good. Yeah, you guys just shoot a decree out. Everyone, sleep now. Wake up in 12 hours. All right. Bet. That's funny. Oh, wait, did I already do that? I checked this one, right? Okay, good. Oof. Someone brain fart there for a moment. Tomb says, I can't sleep before pass open. Too excited. I know, right? Got that adrenaline going. Yeah, I always like I need to sleep too. We're working on our show alliances this season. So much stuff to plan. Oh, I'm sure. I am sure. Oh, dude, look at that. TG registers from 244. Now we're going 75. I think we got next. Ooh. All right, Max, go. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. All right. Hang on. We're going to do this one, and then I just got to get a refill on some agua. Oh, dude, CoC, man. Look at that. Rod from 75 registers CoC. Okay, let's do 95, and I'll go grab some high quality H2O. Okay. Ooh. Got the massive water refill and a throat lozenge, because why not? Ooh. Oh, these things are so tasty. All right. Let's keep it pushing. All right. Oh, nice. That one automatically loaded. Oh, okay, nothing there. 75. Okay, we're going to go 115 next. Oh, there we go. So look at that, man. 115 Beck registers. Was it 279? Hmm. Oh, damn. MBH goes CoC from 279. Yami said, I'd like SOS3 back again next. I think it would also be good if you could opt in to find a specific camp within power range. That's interesting. Yeah. That's the thing. I don't know why. I don't know why they didn't include Rise of the Dragon. This doesn't, I don't know. This doesn't make any sense to me. Okay. I don't know what I just did there. 92. What? 85 pay to win. The Tomb said B and go check 110 again. I will. We'll eventually come back to it. Oh, wow. Pay to win hasn't registered either. Oh my gosh, Betsy, just let me skip you. Yummy says I also want a map where there's an uneven amount of zone 1 just to mess with everyone. Like how would 5 starting zones work out for Diplo? That's just evil. You're like, let's just see how hard we can make it for everyone. Okay, sure. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so no one just 170. Calling 43 next. Okay. I'll take your word for it, Doom. I'll put you down. Oh, there we go. 43. Where's 43? Yeah, man. So 43 is registered for Winners Upon Us. That's D&D. We're going to 145 now. Gotcha. I added you. Zabe, what's up? Yeah, and add portals so you can invade everyone's zone 1 like the Statue Island. So, idea here on that is that the thing about that, I'm actually not necessarily against that kind of an idea if it was for like a limited time, right? Like let's say you could portal into someone's zone 1, but it's only active for like an hour or two, right? And you could only fight open field, right? So you can't do any like city hits, right? Or at least, you know, like rallies, so to speak. I mean, if you want to swarm a city, that's different. But that could be interesting. Yeah, I'd have to give it a little more thought. Yeah. I mean, I definitely think the statues have been doing a really good job late, especially the Supreme statue. I think the Supreme statue, for all intents and purposes, has been a pretty good success with them adding that in. Tune, look at that. DAU registers. Kingdom 44 for winter is upon us. Very nice, very nice. Check on Chubb now. Yeah, Doom says we registered. I mean, yeah, man. So that would be 2 full status kingdoms have now registered for winter is upon us. Yeah, maybe when I cover it, maybe when I cover it in like a standout video, so it's not just me doing the stream, but when I cover it in just a, oh, sorry, not a standout, but a solo video specifically. Yeah, 1 sec. Ooh. We're back. Just had to go tinkle. Oh, that felt so good. To drain the main vein. If you guys catch my drift. Okay. 281, that's LOC. Registers winter is upon us. Now we're going to go 207, I think is next. Yeah. Cool. We're almost at the first 100 kingdoms, so we're almost halfway there. I mean, it's taking a minute, that's for sure. What the heck? Zabe says that, yeah, just needed to wait for Asian downtime to get any points versus FCK 300 online for Martha. Right, 308. I'm going to go 388 next. Nice. Wrecking, giving us his happy hour bar pickup line. Sup, girl? Want to help me? Okay. I'm going to be honest. I don't know how far you're going to get with that one. But I'll say this, right? To each their own. Whatever opener anybody wants to go with. Some, I'm sure, are more hazardous than others. 69 looks like registering. That's PX for Winners Upon Us as well. We got 452. Gotta dig deep here. This guy. Well, you know, technically I was just referring to using the facilities. So, okay, 452. They've registered. So that's VKG. I think that's Viking. Then we got 134 next, which is TBS. Oh, damn, he's back-to-backs. 134 TBS registers. Winners upon us. Very nice. I got 251. Nice. Quad back-to-back. 251 GD registers as well. And then I got 326. We're going. Oh my God, it's so cold. Oh my gosh, 5 back-to-back. 326 NWS has registered Winners upon us as well. All right. Okay. Oh, I get it. I'm back. Welcome me. Embrace me. Thy peons. Seven. We're going 262 next. Almost to our first 100 kingdoms. There we go, man. 262 has registered for Winners upon us. Very nice. We'll check 384. Nothing 384. We got 89. All right, yo, we're almost done with all the active kingdoms. So we have 6 more, including 89, to go through for all of the active kingdoms at the moment. Yeah. Wow. So we got 395 next. $281. I think we did $281 already. Yeah, we did $281. Crap, I don't know where I'm at right now. 395, yeah. Okay, we're gonna go 232 next. Yeah, but no, we got 281. Yeah, we got they registered for Winners Upon Us. There we go. YBD. Number 12. Number 12, huh? Okay, sure. Why not? Well, look at that, dude. 12 even registers. That's PHTM. Winners Upon Us. Very nice. Where am I going? 79? Yeah. 79, nice. Yeah. What's the... Doom, maybe you or Yami or someone might know the answer to this one. What's the max special migration points? Is it 150? I wonder if maybe it says it on the migration rules and I just have to go read it. Just curious if you guys, if either of you maybe knew offhand. We're going 171. It is okay. Okay, thank you. And then there we go. All right. So we are officially done with all of the full, crowded, and active kingdoms. So now we're going to start getting into the normal status kingdoms. Okay. Okay. So 187 noob has registered Winners Upon Us. I'm going to go 186. Okay. Yeah. So out of the 255 kingdoms in the pool, 106 of them, less than half, are active and higher in their kingdom activity status. And 149 of them are normal status, meaning they're below 1,500 migration points. Oops, did not want to click that. There's a CoC. So 226 AVIC goes CoC. Next I got, 78. Yami said, yeah, we had a ton of special migration, saved almost max, and we are 205 special right now. Wow. So, okay. But 105, wow. Yeah, 205, damn. Y'all over here just breaking the bank. Went to 78, right? Yeah, so we're going 258 is the next one. Zabe says crowded is over 3,500. That's correct. So normal goes from 0 to 1,500. It could be 1,499, right? But we'll just say 0 to 1,500. Active goes from 1,500 to 3,500. And then crowded goes from 3,500 to 3,999, essentially. Oh, look at that, dude. Goa, 258 goes Winners Upon Us. And then I'm going to do 73 here. Yeah. Doom says 150 is like 7 migrations of larger accounts. Is that like 7 migrations of 100 mil plus accounts? Or do you average that being something different if that number's lower? Oh, so it is. Okay, so Zabe says it is. Short cause. Yeah. Oh. Oh, sorry, you were asking a question. I thought that was a statement. Okay, so numbers are 73. Let's go 161. Okay. Okay. So you could get 700 mil plus players in through the special migration points. Okay. So not bad. Not bad, not bad. Yummy says it depends a lot on recent spending and historical spending from what I can tell. Okay. There we go. IME registered winners upon us from 205. And we got 289. Peppo G recruit only 20 plus because their spenders have got you. Okay. Let's go 218. I think that's where Amazon plays for their group. Servitude, what's up? Welcome. It says, hey, BM, thanks for the work you do as always. Appreciate the kind words. Will you be releasing a video before registration phase ends about who's registering? Yes, absolutely. I'm most likely going to try and do one tomorrow once I wake up. So, you know, kind of about halfway through registration or so. Basically, once I finish doing this first kind of scan through, then I'm going to put a video out to showcase effectively just who's registered so far, if that makes sense. So we'll do that. And then I'm going to try and get that out, like I said, tomorrow. So maybe in like the next 14 to 16 hours, that video should be out. And that'll kind of give you like a, you know, day 2 recap of who's registered at the moment, how many, kind of show you some other stats and numbers as well off the sheet. But yeah, I wanted to try and get something out today. It's just I was out most of the day today. My oldest daughter had her communion at church, so we had to get there pretty early in the morning. So it was kind of like a 7 to 8 hour thing, and then we basically all went out to eat afterwards. So just didn't have a lot of time today overall, but But yeah. So basically, once I finish doing this first scan, then yeah, I'll put a solo video out. Most likely, it just won't be until tomorrow morning. Yeah, that's just why I'm trying to go through the kingdoms as fast as I can, so I can put that out. Thanks for the answer. No, man, more than welcome. More than welcome. Yeah, because before last season, I was doing daily recaps. That was fun, where basically every 24 hours at around reset, with the exception of the third day, because I had to wait till after, I would do a video just kind of showing off, right? So people can kind of get like 2 update videos to kind of see where everything stood, right, before eventually making their final decision. And then by the time I got the second video out as the day 2 recap, right, they basically have about 24 hours left. So it worked out nicely. It's kind of what, I guess it's kind of maybe what tomorrow's video will be, because it'll be closer to day 2 ending. So, but thankfully I won't have to do this as much as I am now. The first pass through is always the longest. So just because once there's less kingdoms, based on those that are registered, it's less having to, it's less kingdoms, less accounts I have to pull up, right? Because we already know where people have registered for. The only time it can maybe get a little tricky is if some of the numbers don't line up on, for example, if a number or 2 is off on one of the KvK scenarios for showing, and I don't see that reflected on my sheet, then that basically means I have to go play Where's Waldo and just like really go in, and I may have to do like another full scan to like see what happened, right? Like, did someone new just sign up? Did someone switch, right? Then I'd have to go in back and look through all the kingdoms that did register to try and find out like who switched. So it can be a lot. And obviously the amount of time spent is, obviously only going to continue increasing too as well. I'd have to ask Fuzzy if maybe there's a way where, I don't even know, like it'd be so cool if there was a way he could pull it to like see visually, if there was a way to like go into each kingdom, go to basically like do the steps I'm doing, but just do it in a more automated way. I'll have to ask him about that one, because it would save a lot of time. Yeah. Should be 180. Oh, that was 204. Oh, you know what I gotta see here? I gotta see. What was it? Hmm. Oh yeah. Ooh, I gotta watch the newest Fire Force. I think that came out yesterday. Yeah, I also finally finished. I didn't finish, but I finally started back up Stone World. I think I'm almost done with season 3 too. Man, it's getting pretty good. Dude, I just realized on the screen, because I'm looking at how it looks for you guys, is that it looks like it's a box. Because I shortened the client so I could still see chat, and I didn't look back on how the production thing looks, like how you guys are seeing it, and it also looks like that. Then like there's this right column of just blank space. Yeah, I mean, hey, I guess it works for what we're doing at least. It's just funny. I thought I was the only one seeing that. Okay. Oh, I love how my scouts just power up. I don't even do anything. They're just like, you've been gone for so long. We feel sorry for you. Here's a little power up. Oh, look at that, dude. Kingdom 54 registers for Winters Upon Us. Lovely. Yeah, we'll check 55 next. $48. Oh, look at that, dude. DTF. Registers, winter is upon us. Let's go 76. Zaves says S5 slowly coming back on the top. Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. They've been rebuilding there from the war to Luno, man. They've been trying, that's for sure. Oh, very nice. We have officially, as of now, passed. We are over halfway through. Checking all the kingdoms. Yeah. It's funny. We are also almost to the active kingdoms that have less than 1,000 migration points. So, yeah. I wonder if it's going to be worth going down a certain amount. Right? Like, is it going to be worth looking at kingdoms that are under 1,000 migration points? Do we just stop at 1K migration points? Right. We could take a look at like some of the alliance power rankings around this for a couple of these, just to maybe get a gauge. Maybe just to see how far down we go. Because that's the thing, man, with the migration points is now it's such a better indicator and really helps out in a lot of ways. Because before that, it was just kind of going off of activity status at that point. After realm 256, you could stop. Yeah. Well, let's at least go to 1,000. We have I think 3 or 4 more until we get under 1,000 migration points. Right? Because that obviously helps, right? If we don't necessarily want to like kill ourselves. Because we've already looked at 130 kingdoms so far during the stream. So it's taken us about 2 hours, less than 2 hours to go through 130 kingdoms, right? Just to kind of give you guys a sense. Yeah. Shisoka, what's up? Hey, hey. So let's see, 56. Okay, so what? We could say 1,000 migration points, around 5 bill, maybe? Let's go 198. Interesting. Yeah, we'll check these next few if that ends up being accurate. Okay, so they registered. Shisoka says, seems like huge stream today. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. So it was 198. Okay, I mean they're. I mean, if they combine it, probably be 7.5, maybe 7-ish. Okay, 377. We'll see. Let's see. Ooh, Shisoka's excited for the next matchmaking. Oh, absolutely, because there's 30 plus more kingdoms in this pool now. That's extended the record already. So, more kingdoms just means, higher percentage chance for more balanced and fair matchups. Who would not be excited about something like that? Saeed says, can't wait to be the filler in top 1 to 2 KvK as always. Yeah, I mean, last season, that did not happen. Keep that in mind. In Rise of the Dragon, they didn't put filler kingdoms in any of the top KvK groups. They only added the filler kingdoms in I think the bottom 4 power ranked groups for ROTD. So again, there is that. So 377 goes winner is upon us. And look, they're about 7 bill, give or take. So let's look 311. Oh, sorry, you meant in Gen 1. Okay. Gotcha. Too loose for the goose. What up, baby? What did do poo poo? We're just hanging out, man. We're just hanging out. Welcome. So 311 registers CoC. So this is interesting. It appears that most of the kingdoms that have registered for CoC are the weaker kingdoms. I mean, the weaker side, we'll just say lower powered kingdoms. Based on that, it actually doesn't seem that bad. I mean, if we really think about it. We're going 178. Yeah, there's been, let's see. How many have registered so far for CoC? 1, 2, 3. Excuse me. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So out of 133 kingdoms, there's only been 8 of them that have registered for CoC. That means the other 13 to 14 plus kingdoms are below 1,000 migration points, right? So they're around that like 6 to 7 bill threshold or lower. I mean, if the objective and the goal is to try and have as many of the stronger kingdoms, all going effectively into one scenario or another, I mean, you could argue that seems to be what's happening now, right? So you could probably still take it as a win so far. Yeah. Yeah, he says, calling courage helps smaller players out more depending on what skills you get from the epic heroes, which they likely have maxed. Yeah, with all the swapping. Lou says, we GG, just won new fights. So this is 178. Where are they? Okay. So yeah, so it looks like the kingdoms are on 5 to 6 bill, give or take. At 1,000 migration points and less. Where was that? Where was it? 178 or 107? Yeah, maybe we'll do a few more. But I do agree, it probably doesn't make sense to maybe look at kingdom powers like under 5 bill, maybe. If that's the case, maybe we'll just do a few more, and then we're basically good at that point. I'll pretty much have everything I need to do the video tomorrow, especially if we're not going to go super deep. I mean, this is the thing, man. It's like, this is my whole thing, and you guys have heard me say this before. I really hope that they do kingdom merging, like they announced that they're going to be starting to do in Rock. I hope they announce that for COD, and they already start looking into it. Like, get ahead of Rock, get 4 years ahead of them, which is where you're at now. So I hope they do that, where they consider doing pure merges of kingdoms. I mean, there's just, yeah, like you don't need to have all these normals, like just low activity deadish normal kingdoms, just season after season after season, just becoming that much more dead and that much more inactive. So let's see, 107. Okay, yeah, look, so like, see, and now we're getting below 5. Okay, I'll check one more just for some consistency, which I think it's 430. Yeah, because now we're at 905 points, 337, 901 points, so we're pretty much close there. Sahib says, then drop some power to be sure you are no longer close to top of KvK. Yeah. Okay, no registration there for 430. Yeah, they're at around 5. Let's go 337. Yep, we get it. No registration there for 337. Yep, and they're around 5 bill. So we'll go 162. Okay, so 162 hasn't registered, and yep, they're around 5 bill. So there you go. What was it 330 next? So they were at 879 migration points yesterday. Okay. Whew, my life is complete. Oh, there you go. Winter's upon us. There we go. So 330 registered for that. Okay. Looks like skirting under. Let's go 343. Yeah, now we're at 872 migration points for this one. Ooh. Yeah, pretty much almost done. Then we can take a look at the sheet. No registration for 343. And now we're pretty much under 5 bill, I think. Okay. Let's check 1 or 2 more. Hopefully this sets a trend for us here on being below 5 bill. Oh, there we go. Looks like 72 opted to register. Okay, and they're a little over 5, 5.5. Check 117. Almost at around 850 migration points now. I think this came in for SHWA 861 is where they were. Okay, yeah, so a decent bit under. Let's try 299 real quick. Yeah. At this point, though, we're like I said, we're almost done. We'll probably check a couple more. Here's another one. 299 registers winner is upon us. Let's check out where they're at. 4.6. Okay. Yeah, but if they added that second, they could be over 5. I think. Where am I going? 48. Worry, what's up? Why does the game can't install on PC? Oh, I'm not sure on that. I know I have mine. Could always try doing the uninstall, reinstall, maybe restarting the computer too as well after you've installed it. Yeah, otherwise, if there's problems, I definitely recommend reaching out to COD CS for support if you can. Right, you could even keyword search on Discord to see if other people have had similar issues and like what they did to solve it. Padiva, what's up? Continue anyway? Wait, what do you mean continue anyway? Lumpia's back. I need to. Yeah, I need to message my cousin and ask where his lady went to go get the lumpia because it was pretty good. Uh-oh, CoC. That was 48. 324. Olympia says, I'm from 375, 11.3 bill. We picked winners upon us. I'll have to check. I don't know what we marked for 375 if we did anything there. 4-1. Well, I mean, if they combine, they'd be 5 bill. Yeah. Zayib says NXW is only 11.3. Where am I? Is this? Oh, 104. I thought it was 394. Oh, we're at 104 right now. All right, that might be it. We'll check one last 394, and then we might be done, and then we can take it, and I can show you guys off the sheet. Okay, this could be the last one we check, because right now we're at about 840 migration points for kingdoms. So it's this one and one more below it that is pretty much around that. Yeah, see, they're at 5 bill. $71. 841. Oh shit. Nobody says, yeah, dead weight management's a thing. Okay, I think we're done. So we made it. Oh, it's filling in with purple. Okay, so we've stopped at 71, as that is where consistently the kingdoms end up starting to get a little bit more below 5 billion power. So at that point, at stopping at Kingdom 71, we are at Kingdom 149 out of 255. So we're about 106 shy, but the next 106 kingdoms would be lower powered, just to give you an idea, right? They would most likely be around probably 4 billion power. Maybe you might get a couple in there that squeak to about 5 bill, but it's probably going to be around most of them 4 bill and lower power. So I don't think there's really a need to continue checking at that point. I mean, we probably could have stopped at around maybe 125, 130 as well. But so this helps out with where we're at. So I'll show you where we are. Let me see if I have 375. I don't know if I do. Let me just check. I do. Okay, good. So for those of you hanging out with us, I will show you the sheet for what we have. Looks like we have had a few more registered for Winter is Upon Us, and like 2 more for Calling and Courage. Yeah. So this is where we're at the moment, right? So, well, I should say, again, not all of the migration points are up to date for today, so I'll still have to do that one. Also, Wary, thank you so much for the sub. Appreciate you. It means a lot, more than you know. Gonna shoot you some confetti in chat because it's free. So this is who, at the moment, again, there's still, since we started, there's probably been about 4 or so, more kingdoms that have registered for Winter is Upon Us. So it could be within this group, but this is the numbers now, right? Or these are the numbers and who has registered for what at the moment, right? So you could see here, right, the first CoC kingdom registration is estimated to be about the 38th ranked kingdom at 45 with BB, right? And then you see a couple pockets here, right? 314, RK, Kingdom 3, right? You got 2 of the full status, NA, WB, 25IW, IWGFG, right? They've registered Winter is Upon Us. Then we work our way down, right? Still waiting for some others, but a couple other registrations here too as well. ROD, NBA, try to go to CoC, Beck, CLHTF, D&D, right? Registering Winter is Upon Us. We get kind of a big window here that you can see. Next CoC registration was 226 AVIC. And then right under 1,000 migration points, right, you get Kent at 311. So this is kind of where we stopped and where we went until. So you can see here kind of around 841 points that have been accumulated so far. So yeah, that's it. Like I said, that's where we're at. I'll probably, maybe tomorrow morning, I will run through, I'm going to run through the kingdoms that have not, or check these ones, right, all the open slots. So see how many more people have registered. And then I'm going to go through all the kingdoms that have not registered yet and see which ones have. And then I'll probably do the solo standalone video tomorrow. I may update these points too as well, because I think some of them most likely have been. So we'll most likely end up doing some updates there too as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I really just wanted to like run through one full pass through on everything. So we were able to accomplish that and do that. So I feel really good about it because it is getting a little bit late my time. I may try to stream tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure yet. So we'll see. But again, there will at least be a video out tomorrow going over who's registered, who's not registered, how many Winter is Upon Us, showing you guys some more of these stats, but just, again, probably some updated migration numbers if I get the time to do that, passing through the kingdoms again that have not registered to see who has and then where did they go, and then trying to give you just a little bit more of a comprehensive overview for tomorrow leading up to a little more than the last day prior to registration ending. So that's going to be it for us. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoy the stream as always. And whether it is morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you might be, I hope you have a good rest of the one. That's going to be it for us. You guys take care. Have a good rest of the one. Good rest of the day.